Hi everyone, welcome back to A Sky Full of Stars, episode 5, where we had some conflicts regarding our main character Akito. In episode 4, we do know that Orihime is trying to rebuild the Six Stars Club, but in order to make that a reality, Akito has to participate. And he declines because he no longer looks at the stars. And when Akito tried to say no to Orihime, Orihime told Akito to reconsider and hopefully come back with a yes. But so far Akito is planning on saying no once and for all. So later in episode 4 he returns to his astronomy club where he finds Saya waiting for him with Odin. And also Takeichi. Well, he's here to eat some of Akito's noodles. And after a little bit of a fight, Takeichi promises to buy another cup of noodles for Akito. And we do know that he's part of the basketball club, and that's why he needs all the energy to be ready for his activities. So now, that's done. It looks like Akito or Takeichi was about to leave, but something held him up. And I wonder what Takeichi's going to say now. So, at the end of episode 4, he was going to leave this club building, or this club room. But then something came into his mind and he stopped. And Akito's wondering what is going on.
お前さ、光のことをそろそろ吹っ切れよ。
You know, you should really let go of Hikari. So we haven't seen Hikari yet. We've only seen her in the past as little childhood friends. When she invited everyone... Well, she invited Akito and Saya to sneak out at night to go stargazing. And after that, we haven't really seen what happened next. So Akito's wondering where Hikari comes into the equation. Well, what's she got to do with anything? Why don't you go and bring her up now?
あるのは三日月村出身なら誰でも知ってる。お前が星を見なくなったのもあいつがいなくなってからじゃねえか。
So Takeichi suspects that the reason why Akito stopped stargazing was because it reminded him of Hikari. And since Hikari's not here, when he goes stargazing, it kind of reminds him of her, and he kind of misses her.
もう4年も前だぞ。どっか行っちまったやつのことより、今の自分とか。
Okay, so I think the reason why he doesn't want to do stargazing anymore is because every time he does it, it reminds him of Hikari. And Hikari probably left the area 4 years ago. And he doesn't want to be reminded. He kind of misses her. And is hoping to start fresh. And dump everything that he did in the past with Hikari.
身近にいる誰かのこと考えてやってもいいんじゃねえか。
But the fact that he still has Saya is another issue. It's like, well, she may be gone, but there's other people around you. Like Saya, and maybe the store that he's working at, and Kotaro, and maybe Takeichi. Well, come here a minute.
どこ行くんだよ。
So he's gonna have a private conference with Takeichi about what he just said. Okay, I don't think he wants to hurt Saya in his way. So it's gonna be like a men-to-men talk. Or man-to-man talk. Well, what's the matter with you? Bringing up crap like this out of nowhere?
いきなりでもないだろう。天文部の話題の続きじゃねえか。
Well, I don't think it was randomly popped up. I think Takeichi has been observing Akito for quite some time, and he suspects that Akito stopped stargazing after Hikari left the city. And Akito probably doesn't want to be reminded of it, so we were going to have a falling out at this rate.
おかしいだろう。星を見ない天文部員なんて。
But the idea that he's a club member of the astronomy club, but does not want to look at the stars, and that kind of makes it sound strange and weird in a way. Well, just forget it. It's my problem. But then again, if you keep it all to yourself, nothing's going to change. Well, it's not like he was the one they were talking about. So I think Akito's like, well, don't talk about it. Well, just stay out of it. It's my own personal problem. I don't want anybody to be involved in it. But if it has been for over 4 years, that means there is something wrong, and Akito probably does need help to overcome this depression. So when he saw how upset I was, he gave a little sigh.
お前見てると時々もどかしくなるんだよ。余計なこと言って悪かった。
And even though Takeichi's like the type of person that's all goofy, but he does have a point. The fact that he clings hard to Hikari, and he misses her so much, and he doesn't want to be reminded of what he did with her when as little kids, when they snuck out in the middle of the night to do stargazing. Well, it's fine. I could see why it bothered him. And I knew he was just trying to help. Well, I had a lot of friends who tried to help me, and I should be grateful.
昔の借りもいろいろあるし、何か力になれたらって思ったんだ。すまん。
Okay. Well, I said it's fine. And I don't remember owing you owing me anything. And as far as I'm concerned, it's supposed to be the other way around. The only reason I'm able to do anything is you. So if we started counting up who owes who, it surely come up even. So the idea that well, we should just forgive each other, some tolerance, and the fact that I'm doing you a favor, you're doing me a favor, and we shouldn't be so picky about that, nitpicky. We should just let it go. As long as we're here to help each other out, that's all it counts. So we grinned at each other and bumped fists. So I was like, oh, well, I know I took one of your noodle cups, but, we're kind of buddies together, so we shouldn't be nitpicky about, oh, you owe me a cup of noodles. And it's because of him, he's helping Akito along the way, despite his big depression from losing Hikari. Well, if anyone had seen, we have died from embarrassment. Well, I'm just gonna go to the restroom. Saya's probably worried. So could you come back? Or go back for a minute? And she probably thought we were beating each other up. Well, she's such a worried person. But the fact that he was kind of upset when he pushed Takeichi out of the room, like, let's have a talk outside. When he was trying to bring up, is it because of Hikari that you stopped stargazing? And Akito's like, well, let's have a talk outside about this. And she thought that he was actually going to yell at him for bringing up personal problems.
Oh.
So it's like, well, I had to go inside and give her the assurance that nothing is going wrong or going sour. So I left Takeichi behind and headed for the toilet. So when I got back, Takeichi was nowhere to be seen. So he returns to the clubroom at night, and I think Takeichi decided to just go home and call it a day. Oh, so he actually had after school practice, so he had to go to the basketball club and do some practice. So that's why he wanted to fill up. So he wanted to get some energy to be able to do good practice for his next basketball match. Well, not to mention, it looked like he was up to become a starter next year. Well, I hope our basketball club will be alright. I don't think they're really that close. Well, what are you talking about? So Saya is kind of jealous. She's like, well, I would like to also get in a fight over ramen with you sometimes as well. Because in a sense, it kind of brings her closer to Akito. In a way. Well, what's so appealing about that? Yeah, it's just argument. Well, no way. If you were a boy, that would be a great loss to humanity. So I wonder what he's trying to say. And anyways, knowing you, even if you've been a boy, you would just share everything anyways, and never fight over it. Well, the fact that Takeichi is part of the basketball club, so he's obviously looking to power up. In a sense, I think he's kind of more aggressive, because obviously he's like a sports person. So Saya nodded seriously with a "I hadn't thought of that" look on her face. It was kind of funny. And while she waited for me, Saya had been in the dark looking at the telescope we had set up in the room. Oh, it's a small telescope. I set it up every day to make sure it stayed in good shape. It was a refracting telescope with an 8cm aperture. Well, after the president retired, it hadn't been used once though. By now, it was already getting dark outside the window. Well, you know, it should be visible soon. Albiero, that's it. That is. So when I said this, Saya turned to me with a surprised look. So I think Saya was waiting for Akito, and they were hoping that we could go look at stars together, just like what happened in the past. Well, for some reason, I suddenly got embarrassed and could not look at her. Well, maybe you should stop calling me that. Isn't it embarrassing? Because she likes it. The teasing tone in Saya's voice made me feel even more embarrassed. Well, you know, I better get to work. I'll take you back. Okay, so, Akito has that, convenience store work that he has to go to now. I'm surprised that there's still people here. At night. I got on my bike and came to the gate. I found Saya already there, surrounded by older students going home after practice, all pretending to pray to her. Like she's some kind of graven idol.
Bye bye, Kayoizuma-chan. Sayonara.
And Saya doesn't seem to mind about being labeled as the commuter wife.
Yatta! あの子と口聞いちゃった。
So, do you know her?
知らない人。
No. And yet, Saya had replied so sincerely. She was too funny and too cute. I got on my bike and Saya climbed onto the cargo rack, sitting side saddle.
なんかね、私、Kayoizuma-chan って呼ばれてるんだって。
I don't think she minds being labeled the commuter wife. So Saya said and peeked at my face to see how I reacted. Yeah, seems that way. She had visited our school so many times that the name had become permanent. I wouldn't say it's permanent, but it's just become everywhere. It was only natural that someone in another school's uniform would stand out, and with the way Saya looked, it was inevitable. And since she usually showed up with food, the unfortunate name commuter wife just stuck. The fact that she came to deliver good food for Akito. Well, I'd stay quiet about it because I thought she didn't like it. But looking at her now, I wasn't so sure. Okay, hold on tight. Don't let go. So he's gonna drop her off before heading off to the convenience store. Well, you can never ask Saya to be too careful, since she had the coordination of a drunk ox. So I think she's clumsy and always falling and tripping everywhere. So Saya wrapped her arms around my waist, and I slowly began to pedal. So I quickly passed the other students walking home after their clubs. So Saya was light. I barely noticed her sitting right behind me. And as we picked up speed, the wind cooling down as the sunset started to hit us. So it's just like episode 1 in the past. Saya complained about being cold. Maybe without thinking, Saya pressed her body against my back and it warmed me up. Yeah, Odin season.
きっと美味しいよ。味がと染みてて。
Well, it'll be a good time to have Odin, because it's cold outside.
おすすめはね、じゃがいもとこんにゃくと、あとタコの足がね。
Saya counted off the ingredients on her fingers. Oh man, no more. Just listening to you makes me hungry.
そっか。じゃあ食べてもお楽しみだね。
Well, definitely. I like Odin, and hearing those ingredients really makes me want to eat more. Where you can actually picture what a perfect Odin looks like in his mind. So stars began to twinkle in the twilight sky, and winter was right upon us. So I approached the aging streetlights, their feeble light nearly drowned by the overwhelming darkness. On that dark country night, only one single building still held back the dark with dazzling light. And the convenience store, the stop and buy, also known as the Mikazuki Castle that never sleeps. Or at least, when this place was still on the southeastern border of the Mikazuki village, someone once called it that. So the Sao Tome stopping by stayed open until 10 p.m. I think he has to work from evening to closing time. Well, back then, the village shops usually closed at 6, or at the very latest 8. It was dark. So when the villagers first gazed upon that stopping by sign glowing in defiance of the laws of nature, how they must have shuddered. The fact that it stands out is so bright. And they said it heralded the coming of civilization to the tiny Mikazuki village. Well, the idea that usually there's not enough lights, so at night it's so dark, and it's better that you turn off all your lights and go to sleep. But for a modern town or modern city, there's always activity going on at night. So you have stuff going on during the day, and once the sun sets, there's more activity going on. So literally, big cities, they don't sleep. Well, people will believe what they will. So since then, Mikazuki village had been submerged under the new reservoir. The rest of the village had become part of Hoshinoka City. Okay, so it looks like they built a reservoir, and as part of the construction, a lot of people had to be relocated, and the parts that were not in the vicinity of the reservoir, they decided to incorporate it as part of the Hoshinoka City. So this is probably like the old part of Hoshinoka City. And even still, people remember the old name. That's true. Old things don't change that readily. That was probably because of the Mikazuki villagers' pride in their symbol of civilization. And of course, the convenience store along the coastal highway are all open 24 hours. So I think this shop, they probably want to be 24 hours in the future, but it's just that they're still kind of working their way up. The fact that you're going from a town that sleeps early, it goes all dark at night, to a city life where stores are always open, there's always things to do at night. So they're kind of like transitioning, and they're not there yet. I was all alone in the shop, sitting on the stool behind the register, poking at my phone. So obviously, you don't really get much customers at night, especially in a town that's so used to early sleep, early just a self-imposed curfew. So for hardworking students, our late hours could be a real blessing, but for me, it was terribly boring. Well, then again, if you don't really have anything to do, it kind of gives you some time to do other things. So maybe he can do some homework or some studying while he waits for customers to show up. And as with most businesses, customers, they show up sporadically to the shop, and it kind of coordinates with the train schedule.
学校を超えた天文部の集まりか。何それ、面白そうじゃない。
So who's writing this? So an astronomy club that stayed active outside of school, huh? That sounds so cool. Well, it went on for over 30 years apparently.
いいじゃん。やりなよ、やりなよ。
So I think he's talking to someone, and this person is telling him that he should reconsider his decision to stay out of the astronomy club, and maybe get him to go look at stars again. Well, I'm not for reasons.
どうして？
So he just says, no, I don't want to look at stars anymore.
どうして？なんで？
So obviously, this lady's asking him why.
だって、アキト君も天文部なんでしょ？
Especially since he's still part of the astronomy club. Well, it's just that some stuff happened in the past.
おお、来たね。若者の悩み。
Oh, yeah, that is. Youthful angst.
いいよ。お姉さんに何でも話してみなさい。
How about you tell your big sister all the problems that you faced?
さあ。
Come on. Well, unsure of how I should answer, I looked up from my phone. So I think he's gonna put that lady aside. I'm pretty sure Komako wasn't even her real name. So he's kind of guessing that now. So she was an office worker living in some big city somewhere, and we met a while back online. Wonder if she's okay to talk to. You meet someone online, that's kind of dangerous. So sometimes when she gets tired of adulting, we kill time together like this. Okay, so now he has a customer to deal with. So who's him? And he still hasn't moved. So I think he just came in to look at the magazines and nothing much else. Well, he'll still as a hunting crane. Like I say, he moves 1 inch. So I don't know what he means by he wants entertainment. Okay, so he wants to buy a magazine about entertainment. And then... Okay, so I think the manager found out that Akito is off task. And she's telling him, hey, you can't be on your phone during working hours. You have a customer, he's waiting to check out, and you're ignoring him. And I think the old man thinks that she's talking to him. Oh, hello, Miharu-san. Oh, don't you forget what you're supposed to do? But then again, you should be looking up once in a while to see if there's any customers. So he got too engrossed in his text messaging that he forgot what was around him. And he was in deep thought about what that lady said about you know, you should join the astronomy club again. It'll be great. So she brought something from the warming oven. Okay, 180 yen. So my old teacher stared at my outstretched hand like she had something to say to it. So yes, but my manager told me that under no circumstance was I to feed their, and I quote, deadbeat daughter for free. So I think she's like the owner, or she works with the owner, who's even higher than the manager. And it's like, hey, this is my shop. I want to see some productive working, rather than someone that's here on their phone all evening. All evening. So Miss Miharu reached out into her pocket and took out some coins. So I wonder what's wrong with her, or why she's all upset, other than the fact that she saw Akito dozing off. Well, with an expression of a heart-wrenching grief, she placed 180 yen on the counter. So she comes out as a customer, and she just went to get a bun from the warm oven, and then he tells her, okay, that's 180 yen. And she's all upset. She's like, I don't see good customer service. I want to see good etiquette, positive attitude, and this is how you treat someone that runs the shop or owns the shop. I wonder if she gave enough money. Okay, receipt?
そんなのトイレットペーパーの代わりにもならしないよ。
So she sulkily walked over to the shop seating area and, reading a newspaper someone had left, began eating her bought and paid for pork bun. So when Miharu-san had gone, Old Man Champ snuck out of his hiding place behind the magazine rack and fearfully made his way to the register. So what can I do for you? So the old man blushed faintly as he laid down 2 magazines. The first one was a popular young man magazine, Champ Comics. And he wants to hide the second one. Uh-oh. I don't think it's good. Okay, so it's some kind of adult magazine that he's trying to hide from the cashier. Because obviously, well, the last thing you want is to have an eyebrow at you or being questioned about, what's with this? And it kind of feels embarrassing to purchase it. Okay, that's 1040 yen out of 1100. Using my month's register skill, I quickly scanned the magazines and slipped them smoothly into a paper bag in one motion. But then it's like, well, I don't care as long as you're paying and buying it. Nothing else matters. Okay, 60 yen change. Thank you for stopping by. So Old Man Champ, apparently relieved by my skill service, left the shop with an air of satisfaction. Or satisfaction. I'm sorry, Old Man Champ came by. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop here. I think that's enough for episode 5. So we're gonna see what else or how Akito's gonna continue the text message with this lady. But we do see that probably why he doesn't want to go to the astronomy club and look at stars anymore is because it's because of Hikari. Hikari, between in the past and now, she probably left and disappeared from the city, and it made Akito so depressed. And I think every time he looks at stars, it reminds him of her and the things that they did together in the past. And now that she's gone, it kind of feels sad, and he doesn't want to be reminded of it. And that's why he tries to... So he turns away and stops doing stargazing. And it was quite ironic because he's part of the astronomy club, a club that's dedicated to stargazing. And I think he's probably there because he's just trying to hold the club, so to keep it alive, and hopefully someone else will take over. But now he's been proposed or invited to something of an even larger caliber. The fact that Orihime from the Mako Academy is trying to unite all these different astronomy clubs together to form one big 6 stars club. But with Akito trying to not be involved in the astronomy business or the astronomy club affairs, he's just trying to, okay, no thanks. I'm just going to stay out of it. I'm just going to sit here and just hold the club warm. And I think hopefully he's waiting for someone to take over the club. or once he gets enough members, he's going to step down and retire from astronomy. But then we see that Saya really wants to see Akito stargazing again. I'm not sure about Takeichi, but maybe the same thing for him as well. And I think this lady, let's see, I forgot her name. I think it's Komatsu or something. Or Komako. She also wants to see Akito back in stargazing. So we'll see in the next episode what happens, and whether or not we will see Hikari move back to this town. So with that in mind, I'll see you later.